This is the lecture for Basic Computer Knowledge for Introduction to GIS. So in this lecture we are just going to go through some of the most basic computer requirements. Many of you will be far past this level of expertise, but just to make sure, if you have any questions or if you need a refresher, we're just going to go through these. So the first thing that we have is just getting to programs. Down in the bottom left corner of your screen you have what's referred to as the Start button. Many of your frequently used programs will be listed here. If you need to find something additionally, you can select All Programs and you get to everything that is loaded onto your computer. So many of the things that we will use will be listed here. Once you load your software, your ArcGIS will be here, and we will get down to ArcMap after a while. We will also probably find a few things in accessories. You'll find the snipping tool, which we will get to later, paint if you need it, things like that. If you need to log off, then once you're finished, then you can do those things here. You can also get to the computer access here. We'll show you a few different ways to do that. So the Start button is pretty easy. Once you open up a program or two, you will need to be able to frequently have more than one thing in your screen at a time. So we need to understand these top buttons here in most Windows-based programs. You have the Close button, the Maximize Program button, and the Minimize button. So these will just either shrink something all the way down to the bottom bar or enlarge it. In this course, it will be pretty common for you to have more than one program open at a time. So being able to change the size of things so that you can fit more than one thing on your screen is going to be useful. I've done this just by moving my cursor to the corner or to the sides, either way, click and drag it. We also refer to grabbing the blue bar or grabbing the box itself and moving it around. That will also be very useful for you. If you don't have all of your programs open on your screen, you will need to toggle back and forth. It will be pretty common to have your GIS program open, whether you have it minimized, shrunk down, or not. But then you might need to get into your Word document to type up an answer. So in that case, as you can see, I've just opened both of them and I can just click back and forth between them. You can also go to the bottom bar and select whichever program it is that you're interested in. You can also select the Alt button, and then if you hit the Tab, you can move through the programs that you have open that way. So there's several ways to toggle back and forth. We will very regularly need to make files and move things from one file to another or save. So we're going to go through just very briefly how we take a look at our files. You can either go to the Start button to what used to be called My Computer here. There's also a shortcut that's pretty regularly listed at the bottom bar. It looks like a series of manila folders. And if you just click it, then you can get to where you can see all of the things that you have on your computer and then get to a file that is specifically within there. We will also need to be able to copy and cut and paste pretty regularly, both within your Word document and also getting images and answers into your Word document. For those of you who are familiar, you may have a favorite way of doing this. One way is to highlight a section of text that you're interested in and then just select the copy up here in Word, or cut or paste, either way. You can also highlight it and right-click and get to basically the same types of options there. So that is another way to do that. There are also keystroke shortcuts as well. The last thing we'll cover in this particular video is how to send an email. Now it's going to be a little bit difficult because of course all of you are going to have different email accounts. But however you get into your email, you would just start a new email and then type in my address, which is ewilson@stchas.edu. You will always need to fill in the subject. So if you have a question, you would put that. If you're submitting assignment, then you would need to identify which one it is. I still can't spell it right. How about this? And then put in a message, you know, hi, sending my exercise, whatever your message is, and then your name and that sort of thing. Now, if you're going to attach your project, you will need to also know how to attach, or in this case, insert a file. I happen to be using Outlook, so it looks like this, but again, if you have a different system, you will need to know how to do that. So for me, I've inserted a file as an attachment, and then you just navigate to wherever your particular project or assignment is. You select whatever it is, and in this case, select open. It takes a minute to load, and then you would just send it to me. So all of these things need to be in an email. My correct email address, you need to make the subject relevant so that I know what it is that you're sending me. You need to send me a message in the content with your name. Please don't forget to include your name, because your email might be something that I don't recognize. So I need to know who it is. When you are making your project, your actual assignment, you need to also put your name on the Word document that you attach to me. So that is the overview for basic computer knowledge.